Live from the Bass Room Studio 3.0 in Seattle, Washington, this is the Podworms Spacecast. The Podworms are 7 lifelong friends who, just like glitter, you'll be finding in your nether regions for years to come. Welcome to the Spacecast.
Podworms Spacecast, throw it in your face cast. Podworms Spacecast, get a little taste.
Well, hello and welcome back to the Spacecast. Super excited to have you back on board for another episode. Let me introduce you to the Podworms on the show today. We have one half of the Deadly Brother duo, Kevin McCoy.
Drinking a Corona.
We have DJ, producer, and homecoming king, Chase Golka.
Also drinking a Corona.
Booyah.
We have the bad boy of Bothell, now the bad boy of Shoreline. It's Phil Williams.
I don't drink because that's poison.
And he's also drinking a Corona.
But I also am drinking Bodzoff, a complicated named beer, which means it's good.
And I'm the low-hanging fruit, Andrew LeClaire. We have a great show for you today. I'm back from San Francisco, and I have a round of Andrew apologizes. We have Kevin also back from San Francisco. Going to talk to us about the Technology Museum.
Yep.
Phil is introducing a new segment that I like to call Phil's Science Corner.
Yeah.
And we have a new fan favorite bit called Top 40's Crazy Couplets.
Oh.
Yeah. So get excited for that. But before we get into that, we are in a new location, as you may have heard, the Bass Room Studio 3.0.
Yes.
What?
It seems like just a year ago that we just transitioned over to the Bass Room Studio 2.0, and that's because it was a year ago. And after Chase finished his lease at his old place, he decided that the chemistry on this show with one fellow podworm, namely Phil Williams, was so great that they decided to shack up together here. And I assume they're having consensual sex.
Yeah. We just can't turn it off, you know.
Very true. That was the main motivation to move in together.
Yep.
Was to just workshop constantly.
Yeah,
The
before-
new bits, everything.
Yeah.
At the old place, it wasn't consensual.
Right. And things have turned around now. So
Yeah. We've come to some agreements. There's been some contracts written out, and everything is working really smoothly.
Safe words have been established.
Yeah, safe words
which is
are
very good.
established.
right. And I actually had to watch you guys like sign to be there to
Yeah, you notarized.
You are a witness. Yeah.
I was witness. So the whole thing is kosher. It's all above the table.
And we're always trying to bring you the best pod possible. So we're constantly upgrading the studio.
Right. Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah. Also, you know how Andrew is such a good notary is because he's like recording every moment of his life. Like it looks like you have a fucking camera pointing at us right now. Like you're video recording this.
My phone is just hanging out of my breast pocket. It's not recording as far as you know.
Whenever I see somebody doing that, I always get reminded of that movie, Her. You know, where he walks around and he's in love with that computer lady, the Scarlett Johansson computer.
I forgot about that movie.
And he's walking around and it's like always filming, and that's kind of what I feel like people are doing, especially if they have like AirPods in
No,
too.
I'm totally not doing
Like,
that.
who are they talking to?
So we,
Andrew started a new relationship with an operating system.
so this is our first time recording at the new Bass Room Studio 3.0. And so last night we were discussing and confirming that this would be the place that we're recording.
Yeah.
And the fun thing, like if you get to know the Podworms, here's the fun thing about us, is that no one says that they're not going to show up until, I think it's like a game that actually I'm not clued into, but
Yeah.
I think the game is that you have to be the last one to say that you're not showing up. And so if you're like within 3 minutes of us turning on the mics, that's Hall of Fame record.
Yeah.
You know, we're all people pleasers here, so nobody wants to be the first one to be like, I can't make it. Even if your grandma's in the hospital, you're like, well, maybe she'll get better before recording time, so I'm just going to wait till an hour before we start.
Right. And so this morning, because I live in the same neighborhood as Peter, and where we're at right now, the Bass Room Studio 3.0, it's a little bit out of my way. It would not make sense for Kevin or Mike to drive me home, but to go home with Peter would make a lot of sense. So I texted him this morning to ask if he was coming out to see if I could hitch a ride back with him. And after about 3 hours, he said, I will not be coming tonight. Okay, fine. So I knew Peter was off, right?
Yep.
But as far as I know, we have 6 other podworms
Yeah, we don't
ready
need him.
and raring to go.
We don't need him anyway.
Right.
That's why you have 7 hosts, right? So just in case the recording session falls to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still got 4.
The whole thing is not because we're friends. It's actually just for pure redundancy's sake. And so there's always
We will never miss a recording.
right. You
There
know,
will
just
always be at least 4 of us.
I'm looking forward to the one-on-one podcast that will
Yeah.
inevitably happen one day. But so now
It'll be me because I feel like I actually say way ahead of time if I'm not going to make it and try to reschedule.
right. It's probably gonna be me and you.
I'm ready for it.
I'm looking for the in-depth 6-part series where we just have a long stretch of all of us flaking, and we really get to know Kevin as an individual.
Yeah. It's gonna come. And it's probably the 200s somewhere episode.
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
230. But so I'm leaving Pioneer Square in Seattle, and I drove myself because I wasn't going to take the bus. So I didn't hear back from Peter. And so I'm driving myself, and like a good driver, I'm not looking at my phone.
Stay Farmers.
I almost made that joke. And so I'm sitting in traffic for probably 40 minutes. Then I finally get off the freeway at a stoplight, and I decide to pick up my phone, and I see there's 40 new messages in the podcast chat. And so I'm quickly scrolling through, and I start seeing messages like, yeah, I can't make it either. Maybe we should postpone. Yeah, that's better for me too. And I'm like fucking 5 minutes away from the Bass Room Studio 3.0. And so I do a Facebook call to get the whole group on the line to try and resolve this issue.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, so here's what Mike did. Mike thinks he's talk about people pleaser. Here's what Mike does is he starts this whole fucking chain reaction off by saying, hey, caught up at work, might not be able to come. Mike, we're all adults here. If you can't come, just say you can't come. Don't play this little game with me where you say, oh yeah, might not be able to come. Then why are you messaging the fucking chat? Okay. Why are you like dangling a carrot in front? Oh, please, Mike, please. Can you please come? I'm not going to beg you, Mike. All right. Just don't fucking come.
Yeah, no.
Peter didn't.
Yeah.
And who fucking cares?
No, nobody.
And then Jim says he's not coming either. And so this chat starts going off, talking about rescheduling. There's going to be no rescheduling. And so here we are.
Like the Postal Service. No matter what, we're bringing you content.
I want to back up one order of events before this because Chase was like, hey, if anyone's getting food before coming,
Oh yeah.
let me know. And I was like, all right, dude, I'm going to go get Chipotle. And he's like, sweet. And so I ordered on the Chipotle app and set a time for 5:45
Oh,
pickup.
shit. I didn't know you did that. Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. All right, yeah, keep going.
So I was like, I had already put in an order that was 5 minutes away from being ready when I'm seeing all this canceled podcast stuff.
Yeah, so you're committed because you have food on the way. I'm committed because I'm 5 minutes away from the house. Both of you fuckers are committed because you live here.
Yeah.
And I ignored all of those messages because I was playing Halo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And what was
now
this
I see.
nonsense about Chase oh yeah, next week works better for me too. I have a whole chicken to roast.
Yeah,
What the fuck is that about?
I'm just saying, if we did cancel, I do have a chicken that has been thawing in the fridge, and I need to make it. And I was gonna make chicken dinner today, but I postponed because I was like, wait, no, I can't do it today. I got to do it tomorrow because of the pod. But then everybody was talking about canceling, and I started thinking about my rotisserie chicken.
And you're like, well, there's that chicken.
Maybe I do have something to do other than doing the pod.
On one hand,
Could
we
fill
have
my schedule again.
on one hand we have the very consistently scheduled podcast every 2 weeks with my friends. And on the other hand, the rotisserie chicken in the fridge.
I mean, it's been sitting in the fridge for a little while. I've been thawing it out. It needs to be cooked.
A lot of
just a
fridge
classic.
space. A lot of fridge space dominated by that chicken.
Yeah, it's in a big bowl. It takes up a lot of space.
Well, Chase, I'm sorry to inconvenience you.
Look, okay, here's the reason. See, Phil gets hungry, and now that we live together, I have to make him food, whenever he wants it, or he gets really angry.
Oh no.
Wow.
He gets like a little angry boy.
That is a gross
and
mischaracterization of what Phil is.
someone has to feed him. Someone has to feed
I will
him.
not stand by this slander.
See, this is just part of our relationship now.
I'm still in love with the, hey man, I can't hang out tonight. I got a roasted chicken excuse. That's a new one.
I was just implying that it would be okay. I would have something else to do. I don't know why you guys needed to know that information. I guess I really didn't have to say that at all.
Well, I appreciate hearing it. It really helped the color in the picture.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a good chicken, so.
He's either going to podcast tonight or he's going to roast a chicken.
Yeah, tomorrow, roasted
There's
chicken.
no way in fuck he's doing both.
Yeah,
There's
definitely
only
not.
two options. I see his night ending in one of two ways.
I'm not gonna half-ass two things. I'm gonna whole-ass one thing.
It's a real shame you couldn't make it to our 10-year class reunion, but that was a nice chicken that needed roasting.
Oh no, that was the pork shoulder actually.
Oh,
that
fair
night.
enough.
Yeah.
You know,
Even
actually,
better.
it was a little bit dry, actually. So I have a round of.
Whoa.
That's fucking rude.
You insulted a man's pork shoulder?
Yeah. You
Listen.
know what the worst part about that is I did make a pork shoulder for the Podworms retreat. And now I kind of feel like, in your head you had that memory and now you're bringing it up.
No,
Like
listen.
you didn't want to tell me to my face.
Your delicious pork shoulder carne asada, whatever the fuck you made, was delicious.
Well,
and moist.
See, now I know that you're lying because it was a little overcooked. So, you people pleaser,
okay.
Andrew.
Well, everybody's a people pleaser around here.
Look at him, gotcha.
Boy, you happy now? You fucking pin me up against the wall and crucify me. Is that what you want to chase?
All right, I'm
this,
sorry.
This takes me back to the early episodes of the Podworms Spacecast. We're full of just complete discord amongst each other.
It was just a Festivus airing of grievances.
Yeah. Just every 2 weeks get together and just say what each other pisses you out, how they piss. So I have an installment of Andrew Apologizes, but before we get to that, I was down in the Bay Area, as you knew if you listened to a few episodes ago, called in from my hotel. And so I was getting to meet all my new coworkers, and there's a channel on Slack for the California office. And in that chat, one of the sales directors put out a message. He said, "Is there anybody visiting from the C office, SEA, Seattle office? If so, I have something to send back with you." And so I said, "Hey, I'm in the office for another week. If you can't find anybody sooner than that, I can go ahead and bring it back when I head back next week." And I connected with him and we chatted, and he said that, you're probably the first person to head back, so I'll go ahead and send it with you. And it was just a book. He wrote a book and he was sending it to some person in the office and wanted me to just bring it back with him.
It's called Fuck You, Dave.
Yeah.
Could you give this to Dave?
Yeah. I wasn't quite sure how to feel about it, but I'm not going to question. But I'm trying to just build this kind of goodwill in the office where it's like, I'm the new guy. I want to put myself out there and help out. I mean, I'm from the Seattle office and I want to bring it back. And so I was a little bit perplexed by the ask because it's a book.
And the mail exists.
Yeah.
And the mail exists. And in his instructions to me, he said something along the lines of, you can send it to the person via local mail. And I'm like, hey, dude, you can just send this yourself in the mail? So you want me to take this back in my luggage, come back to Seattle, and then mail it to somebody? I was very, very confused. But I had asked him to clarify probably 2 or 3 times in different ways to get more information. But I didn't want to seem like a complete idiot because, again, new person to the company, don't want to be branded as like in the sales team meeting, be like, yeah, there's this new guy who's just a complete fucking dipshit, no comprehension skills.
Wait, did you talk to him or was this all over Slack?
It was a combination of both. I talked to him in person about it twice.
But you didn't. How did you just like talk to him and then not ask questions?
No,
and then
I did.
Walk away and then be like, I need to ask more questions.
He said
later?
you can give it to Julia. I said, oh, there's.
Wait, I thought this was for Dave.
Yeah,
This is getting confusing.
he said Dave or Julia. I mean, it says "fuck you, Dave," but Julia could have taken it to give to Dave.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But he said, yeah, there's salespeople in the office. Just give it to any of the salespeople. Julia specifically would be good to give it to. And I said, oh, okay, sure. So not quite understanding, but figuring that I can ask the people in my office when I get back, right, for clarification. I can say,
you just didn't want to ask the guy in front of you.
no, I asked him 3 times for clarification. At that point, I figured that I'm having a misunderstanding because he's told me in pretty clear terms, like give it to the salesperson or Julia. And I said, okay, I'll just talk to the sales team when I get back to the office.
I hate situations with like that where I'm like, am I an idiot? Like I really can't tell right now.
But because like I was new and he's a sales director, I wasn't going to keep pressing the issue. And so
Until later when you did press the issue.
Well, so fast forward to today. So today was my first day in the Seattle office. And after I kind of settle in around lunchtime, I'm like, oh yeah, I have that book in my backpack. It's time to unload that thing. And so I take it out and I start asking my colleagues right around me. I said, hey, do you guys know a Julia? And they're all scratching their heads. Julia? No, I mean, I don't talk to everybody in the office, but I've never heard of a Julia. And it's not a big office, probably about 35 people. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And I said, well, okay, so where's the sales team sit? And they said, sales team? There's no sales team here. I was like, wow, did I
plot
did I
thickens.
imagine this whole situation? And so I'm walking around the building talking to different teams. I said, hey, do you guys know Julia here? Julia, no, I'm not familiar with Julia. And I go to the receptionist who has to know everybody, or the office manager. She has to know everybody here, right?
Right.
And so I'm asking her and she doesn't know either. And so I'm completely puzzled. And so everybody's kind of invested in
It's
this.
the rats.
Yeah. Yeah. The rats from my last company have followed me. Well, so one of the guys thought that I was like being pranked or something. I'm like, no, this
kinda
isn't
sounds like
this isn't
it.
a fucking prank. This
Yeah.
is, but so I sat down and then someone researched it and they came by and said, wait, who's this supposed to go to? And I said, Julia. And she's like, what? And she's like, this account is managed by someone in Singapore. And I'm like, fucking Singapore? What the? Why did he give it to me? Why did he just mail it to Singapore? And then she said, well, why were you the one that took this book? And he said, is there anybody in the C office visiting? And she said, no, C stands for Southeast Asia, not Seattle.
Oh my
But
God.
I didn't even bother to question like which office I was from, because if you're from Seattle and you see the abbreviation SEA, that is Seattle.
Oh, I definitely would have thought that.
And
as
we
well.
only, And we only have like 5 or so offices, and none of the other abbreviations are SEA. And so this was supposed to go back to somebody in Singapore so that they could mail it via local mail. Otherwise, it's going to take forever and you're going to pay a bunch of money. So that was how that whole thing ended.
What happens now?
There was someone who's going back to the Redwood City office that was going to like bring it back with them and then
Go back down to California with it.
Again, instead of just mailing it,
yeah,
they're like, well, no. We got to get it back to home base
Yeah.
just in case there's another person from
It's
the
a-
Southeast Asia office
and
there.
it's a book. It's a book. And I think this person specifically booked this flight to bring the book back. Be like, all right, I got to get on first class back down to Redwood City.
It's going to take Dave a long time to know that he needs to be fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the contents of the book, it's just blank. I mean, there's one drawing of a penis, but it's this whole thing is complete waste of company resources and time.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Speaking of a crazy waste of company resources and time, I had to mail something the other day to go to Tukwila, which for our international listeners, about 30 minutes south of Seattle.
Yep.
But they needed it the next day. So I literally put some documents in a file folder. They drove it down to SeaTac, which is 4 minutes away from Tukwila, flew it down to Sacramento, flew it back to SeaTac, and then delivered it to this person.
Wait, what?
That was the route that the monolith that I work for decided that's the best use of our money. Let's overnight it to Sacramento, then back to Seattle, and then drive it from the airport there.
Why didn't they just get courier service?
There's someone in your office who's like, I want a good trip to Sacramento out of nowhere. And they're like, I'll deliver this. Got the flight down there, had a day in Sacramento, came back, and then
Like,
gave the package off.
thank God I work for this company because it just wouldn't have gotten done if I didn't take the bullet on this one.
Yeah.
Had to go see SeaWorld's in San Diego.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. See, that's the thing with some companies is that they won't pay your gas to go on like a delivery for them, but they'll spend $100 to ship a thing 5 minutes down the street. All right. So I have an Andrew Apologizes. And if you're familiar with the show, this is a segment where I eat crow. I take back something I said and I want to apologize on behalf of me, sometimes on behalf of the whole show. I mean, really, this should be an episode by episode installment. There should never be an episode without me apologizing for something. But this time I want to apologize for my characterization of the hotel that I was staying in. If you listen to episode, I don't know, what was it, 88, 89? I don't remember. I called in from my hotel and I gave it a little bit of a less than glowing review. Maybe that had been a little bit bamboozled by my assessment when I had picked it on TripAdvisor. I was judging it completely on the carpet. And everybody was kind of maybe saying that this was not the best way to choose a hotel. But as it turned out, after spending 2 weeks there, the place wasn't that bad. The internet was completely workable. I didn't really have any problems. I was able to game. I was able to check my email. I was even able to watch porn. No problem.
Great.
The place came and did room service every day, or what do they call it? The turnover service, where they pick up your towels and
Nice.
do your bed.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Yep. One time I was there and I was like, no, I'm still here. I'm still here. Don't come in. And they came back an hour later, which is great. And nothing ever got stolen, which was my main concern because it did not have a safe. And I've never been to a hotel without a safe for your personal shit. But there's no safe, which doesn't make sense because everybody who stays there for like a Facebook business trip. And you could assume that they're probably bringing something that they don't want to have stolen, like Facebook secrets.
Spacebook, yeah, Spacebook.
That's the proprietary information on the laptop.
TM.
Oh no, you're not. You know, no one talks about Spacebook.
Facebook. Yeah. Don't tell you.
So
I hope Mark Zuckerberg is not listening to us right now.
Edit this out of the episode.
Right. Yeah. Dion, go ahead and cut this out.
Well, if they're like carrying around Facebook like codes, you know, like a briefcase, like a little briefcase
like Zuckerberg's
thing.
password.
Yeah, that has like it just opens up and there's like just a little digital pad on the inside of it.
Haven't you ever seen Zuckerberg walking around the Facebook campus with the briefcase actually like handcuffed to his wrist?
What?
Yeah, it's to protect the secrets.
Shit, that makes sense. Yeah, totally.
Side note: are you guys living in a meth lab?
No, it's just people dropping shit upstairs. It sounds like.
I thought I heard like an explosion upstairs.
We might have a couple, side businesses out of this place. Maybe why we got the extra space, but
Enough said.
Don't worry about it.
So coincidentally, and we didn't find out until this episode was about to be recorded. And I'll let you cover this one, Kevin. You can speak for yourself here. But Kevin was in San Francisco the exact same day I was in San Francisco, and he has a great story that I'm excited to hear. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I went to San Francisco, not this last weekend, but the weekend before.
Oh yeah, the one I was there.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's crazy. You guys were there at the same time?
Yeah.
So what did you guys do together?
Yeah, where'd you guys go?
Brewery tour. Why are you telling Kevin?
So I totally forgot Andrew was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I'm a dumbass and don't know anything about the geography of California.
Okay.
So as far as I knew, Menlo Park was 6,000 miles away from where I was. And I went down there to see an old coworker he moved up to Portland this last Wednesday. So that was his last weekend in San Francisco. And I went down there and just did his San Francisco bucket list. Even because he's lived there for a couple of years and he's like, these are the things I want to do that I haven't done. So we just pretty much we're just jam packed the whole weekend.
Did you guys hike the trail? The crosstown trail?
No.
Okay, that's good because that's what I did. And if you did that and we were on the same trail on the same weekend and didn't see, that'd be some crazy shit.
No, I went to a drag dinner show.
Whoa,
which was really
fun.
It was fun. It was super fun. And notably, I went to this technology museum. We got really high and went to this technology museum. And
nice.
The first thing that we did when we got there is we saw the bodies exhibit, which is trippy.
Oh, the one where they have it's like people without skin and you see their muscles and
Yeah,
stuff.
It's their bodies.
It's just a bunch of bodies.
Real live dead people.
Wow.
And I was the exact amount of stoned not to be as reverent as I should have been in that exhibit, but it went fine. No one seemed to be completely disgusted with us, but I was later when I realized what we'd done.
Wait, discuss with yourself?
I was like, yeah, we were.
What were you doing? Like fondling the balls of these carcasses?
Picture Kevin fake humping one of them or something. Check it out.
He's playing it. He's behind the body, moving his arms around.
He's behind the body talking to his friends like, dude, check it out. Hey, bro, where's your skin? Where's your skin?
For the sake of this story, I did all those things.
Oh, wow. That was pretty disrespectful. Then.
Yeah, pretty rude.
It wasn't great.
Pretty rude of you.
But we went and did a technology museum, and there's a bunch of exhibits, and they're made for little kids. And they it was dark, and there's no instructions except for this teenager who's supposed to tell you what to do. And he just did not give a shit. So I was stoned and confused as hell at what to do. So we were going through all these exhibits, and we finally found one that I was like, I got this one. It was a little table with 3 holes in it and buttons on them that would pump out air with scents. And I saw that you had to guess the scents. And they had 3 answers and 3 holes, and I didn't look at the answers at all. And I was like, dude, I'm going to do this blind. Okay. You look at the answers and tell me if I get it right. So I hit the first hole and I'm like, that's mint. And he's like, dude, you got it. It's mint. And I was like, fuck yeah. Didn't even know mint was an answer, but I knew that was mint. And then I got the second one and I was like, wasn't sure. And I'm like, I'm going to come back to that. Did the third one and it smelled like peppermint. And he's like, nah, it's not peppermint, but it's bubble gum. So I was like, okay, close enough, I guess. Not super close, but whatever.
I mean, it sounds like you're guessing mint on everything. It worked the first time. So.
Wintergreen. Toothpaste.
So I go back to the second hole and I push this thing a bunch of times, smell it, and it's like there's really not much of a scent there. Like, and like all I can smell is maybe like the faintest like lawnmower after mowing the lawn smell. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of like a burnt something, but I have no idea. I'm just like, I have no fucking clue. Do you guys want to take guesses as to what besides mint and bubblegum this third scent is?
I was guessing the whole time that your friend was just farting in your face. I hope that's the case. That's my guess. Chase, guess? Oh, I forgot Chase cannot be put on the spot. Let's come back to you. Phil. At least you're consistent.
Let's do fresh cut mango.
Okay.
Oh, that's a really good one.
All right, Chase.
Well, I was going to say fresh cut grass because you said the lawnmower thing, but you said it smelled burnt.
If he can't decide what the scent is, it's not going to be like grass or gasoline.
How about pine tree?
Okay. All right.
So never in 1,000 years would I have guessed this. And I was so stoned that the answer was so shocking.
Before you say, is this a game that you're supposed to play with your eyes closed for children?
What?
The thing you're doing
it's an exhibit for children.
For children, and they're supposed to guess the sense like you're doing, or you made a game out of it?
Well, I don't know if you're supposed to guess. I didn't read the instructions clearly.
Okay. So this is like your own.
Kevin was stoned.
You're high, just making up your own fun.
It said guess the sense.
Okay.
I started guessing the sense. That's as much as I know.
Okay, got it.
So I felt like I was following instructions, but the actual answer of the middle hole was cancer.
What?
Whoa.
And I was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? It's cancer? What? How would I know it was cancer? It was smelling cancer. Then we kept reading and it turns out it's like there's dogs that can smell cancer is what the exhibit's telling you.
That's crazy. That's like actually what I thought about because dogs do that sometimes, especially to like other dogs or humans. They like try to like lick you in certain places because they can like smell it and stuff like that. That's nuts.
See, here's the thing they don't tell you is that this whole operation is just a covert thing to get kids that can smell cancer and then recruit them into their organization. And so they have a person watching. And if the kid says, "Oh, this smells like cancer," they walk in the next exhibit and they get taken away by a big cane.
Replaced by a clone.
Replaced by a surrogate kid. No one is the wiser.
No one would know.
You know, there's the one dude without health insurance that gets it right. And he's like, see, I can smell cancer.
I knew I could do it.
I got this.
And here's the thing too. They were trying to cash in this whole exhibit because they have the gift shop and they have the car air fresheners. One that smells like mint, one that smells like fresh cut grass. And they have the cancer air freshener. And it says, come visit the San Francisco Technology Museum. There's still the full stock there, if I'm guessing correctly.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was very shocking.
Oh, mint. Oh, bubblegum. Can't get this middle one, though. Wonder what that is. Probably something real great.
That's pretty much how every exhibit went for me. That's how stoned I was, where I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? It was really bizarre.
Was it the whole exhibit cancer themed?
No.
Okay, that would be a real bummer.
Cancer curveball thrown right at you on the scent machine.
Yeah, that's not okay. I feel like, did the teenager probably explain it to you, but you just didn't hear him or listen?
There was no teenager for this exhibit. It was just like one you're supposed to do yourself.
Okay.
And just for the record, if you had to choose 3 regular smells to comprise the smell of cancer, what would they be?
Wow.
Great cigarette smoke, stale alcohol, and then
the League of Legends
the lack
forums.
of sunscreen.
And then
All 3 of those put together smells like cancer.
like sunbathing oil, like bronzer.
Yes. Tanning lotion, cigarettes, and stale beer.
Now that you say that out loud, it's eerily accurate.
Wow. Okay. Well, so that's what's the name of this museum?
I don't know.
All right, check it out next time you're in San Francisco.
It was like the San
Kevin,
Francisco
what? You were
Cancer Center.
stoned, huh?
Enjoy that free plug.
Dude, I was on a trip.
That's awesome.
I would like to believe that you actually just went to a hospital, not a science museum. That you're just so stoned.
Like, I don't understand why.
Look at these bodies.
Like, sir, please
in the morgue.
Please stop smelling the carcasses. We have to ask you. It's not bubblegum. This is a gunshot wound.
You know, after hearing the story, I have to say I'm kind of glad you forgot that I was in San Francisco.
You missed out on some good cancer sniffing.
Yeah.
So keeping on trend with the episode, keeping this an educational, family-friendly, kid-friendly episode, all about the science. We're all about STEM here. We have Phil debuting his brand new Science Corner.
It may be a one and done segment, but
We'll see.
We'll let the space fans decide.
we'll see. I'm not much of a scientist myself. However, my interest in science was piqued today when I met somebody whose job is to design the exhibits at the Seattle Science Center.
What?
Wow.
That is their new job.
Pretty freaking crazy. Also, tell them how how old this person is.
Also, this is going to be like the best segue we've ever had between segments.
Yeah, it's perfect.
We're all about the science today.
Thank you. I planned this one for a while.
To answer your question, she is 22 years old.
22 years old.
First job out of college.
And you
Damn.
get to make exhibits for the science center?
She gets to design the exhibits. She's on the advisory board for like the science center. And so she says that I jokingly said like, oh, I got some ideas. And she, I don't know, said like maybe. So who knows? This could go higher places.
What were your ideas that had legs?
None so far, but I have been stewing all week.
All right.
So my thought is that,
about volcanoes.
well, that was my thought. I was trying to think because I haven't been to the science center in so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is important because public education, I mean, the science I learned was irrelevant. I mean, tectonic plates, they don't affect my life at all.
No.
But I know everything about their shifts and convergence and who
Yeah,
knows?
it's all bullshit. It's
I
all
can tell.
I'm quite the geologist, but
it's all Jesus. If anybody tells you otherwise, tell them to hit the bricks, mister.
Oh, maybe we should go to her with that.
Yeah, have you thought about replacing everything with Christ?
Yeah, give her
that's
that.
the Christian Science Center.
Oh my god. Some new fresh blood in there.
Really shake things up.
With new hot ideas.
New fresh Jesus blood.
She lied in the resume. Aha, now that I'm in.
Got him.
So you had some ideas.
She's a
Phil?
sleeper agent. Anyways, well, I thought to myself, if public schools aren't going to do it, the science center is our next line of defense. And I think first and foremost, we need just a single globe positioned in the science center just to debunk all flat earthing. Like you have one flat, like, because the world is getting dumber. We all can acknowledge that.
Yeah, that's a really good one, actually.
I hate to say it, but unfortunately nowadays we need like hey, this is how the solar system works.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a ball swirling around there. Dinosaurs, again, not really affecting my day-to-day life. Probably don't deserve 48% of the science center.
Right.
They're cool, though.
They are cool.
Yeah, they're really cool, man. But I agree, though. It's kind of like to the point where there's so much information out there. It's like which information is true, you know? So we're devolving, you know. We're going back to
You know, dinosaurs are cool, but you know what's more cool? Praising Jesus.
All right, so it sounds like Andrew votes to integrate Christianity into the science center.
Integrate.
Fair enough. I think the planetarium, it's on its way out. We can scrap that. Just put in like a live Bible reading. Who knows?
I think we're onto something here.
Who knows? Did you guys ever feel like there was a certain subject that you are just lacking information that you wish the science center would have covered as a child?
You know, one that's pretty relevant right now that wouldn't hurt for anybody would be like an earthquake exhibit. And here's what you do. You scare the fucking shit out of the kids.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Because it's just called The Big One. And it's basically a scale diorama of Seattle. And you have them gather around and say, hey kids, you know how you like your normal life? just walking around town having a good time. Well, what happens if just out of nowhere a fucking huge earthquake comes and then it splits the city in
The
half?
big one.
They had an earthquake exhibit at the Technology Museum in San Francisco. I'm not even kidding. There was like a little like platform. It was probably like 10 foot by 10 foot. And then on the one corner of it, there was a little city with like blocks of buildings and stuff. And that you could set all the buildings up. And then a bunch of kids would go stand on the platform and you would pick what you wanted it to feel like on the Richter scale. And all of a sudden, the whole platform would shake that much.
Oh my God. Dang, I was just about to say that.
Well,
That's tight.
I think that is amazing. And I think that a classic of the Science Center or any zoo thing is you go up to like the display board in front and then you can lift like a little information cover
Right.
to be like, oh, this is what alligators do.
yeah.
They should have one just for the Richter scale in Seattle that's like
Yeah.
5.5, mild power outage, 6.0, some foundational damage, 8.0, fucked, 9.0, super fucked, 10.0, definitely not getting out of it. Yeah, I think that would have the same effect as just scaring everybody straight.
I'd like if the room, the whole room started to shake, and then the little platform you're standing on splits in half, and then one of the halves starts flooding with water, and it starts filling up.
You know how the Richter scale, like, it's kind of exponential where you have like a 6.1 is much different than a 6.2, or as you get higher up, an 8.1 is much lesser than an 8.3 or whatever. You should have it be where the kids have to guess. So it's like, what do you think the damage would be with a 5.0? And then, you know, it says like, yeah, some power lines are knocked down. What do you think would happen with an 8.0? What do you think would happen to 8.1? No, everybody's fucking dead. 0.1 makes a world of a difference. You're fucking wrong.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, could someone point where their house is on this map?
You could
Let's see if
integrate.
it would survive.
You could integrate the San Francisco Museum, so you have the whole room shake, just like the Richter, and then you hire some character actors to come in, bloody arms. Oh my god!
And then while they're on the ground, they're like, quick, which you kids has an emergency preparedness kit at home? Quick. None of them raise their hands. You're all fucking dead. You're all fucking idiots. Leave this goddamn museum right now.
Scared straight, plus the Science Center, A+.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's just like what we had before prom. Do you remember that?
What?
No. What?
You don't remember before prom, they brought in the wrecked car.
Oh, yeah.
Scared straight of drunk driving.
Yes. Don't
That
drink.
was intense.
Yeah. They had kids from the class
Right.
be the people in the accident.
Pretend to be dead.
Yeah.
They like did all the makeup and everything.
My ex-girlfriend at the time was the one that was dead.
Why am I laughing so hard?
I'm not kidding. She was.
Thank God.
Everyone was like, it was so bad because like when we were sitting there in the crowd, everybody was like, oh, like elbowing me, and I'm like, why? This is not a time for two. They're like, oh, that's your girlfriend.
Do you think they're still doing that?
I probably.
I mean, that has to be a really strong trigger for some people, right?
yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, there was people sobbing in my class.
Oh yeah.
But it's not because they're so moved by like not drunk driving. It's probably they fucking had somebody in their life die in that. You know, it's like they're just getting all the memories flooding back to them.
That
fucked up.
That has to be traumatizing to see somebody that you love like
Yeah.
dead. That rolls nicely into a story I heard from my mother.
Second best segue of the night.
It's very true. One of my mom's good friends, Denise, who lives down in San Francisco, her daughter, budding actress, young lady, just got booked on her first big TV show.
Cool.
Very
Sweet.
first big TV show ever. It's awesome. Not named. She actually is playing a corpse.
Oh, okay,
I
great.
cannot remember. It's a CSI type show, but for the life of me, I would need to text my mom to figure out exactly what show. But
Oh, that's amazing.
the thought of calling your mom, being like, I landed my first gig. It's fantastic. I'm on CSI. Oh, great. What is it? Your worst fear realized. It's me murdered, raped, sodomized on a cold slab that you and all your friends and family can watch.
Gather around.
Coming up lately.
That's a rough one. You know what I always think about is those actors that are very characterized into a specific role, like they're the ugly friend or they're like put in a bad light where it's like, oh, this everybody's disgusted by this person, because there has to be specific casting calls, or you must know. Like you're an actor and you're like, I just play the ugly friend, and that's my thing. You know, like I play corpses.
I would hope the script doesn't say the ugly friend.
Well, I mean, it's kind of implied, right? I mean, most of the scenes it's pretty obvious if they're reacting to the person.
What if they just had like hot friend and then just friend?
The funny friend.
It's just relative.
Friend.
Great personality friend.
You're the funny. You're the funny friend.
All right, so I have a new fan favorite segment. This one's going to require a little bit of creativity from this group, and I don't know if you guys are ready for it, but you got to be. This is called the Top 40 Crazy Couplets.
Nice.
And the way this is going to work is that we're going to show how out of touch we are, perhaps, with the pop culture of the day. I've pulled 5 different songs from the top 40 charts. Most of them are from the pop charts. I grabbed, I think, 1 or 2 from, one from the hip hop charts and 1 from the country charts.
Nice.
I think I can guess the country chart one.
Okay, what is it?
Actually,
Does it involve an old town?
Actually,
No,
Oh, it does not.
No.
Interesting.
yeah, big controversy there. Maybe I'll go over it later, but yeah.
Not Old Town Road. But the idea here is that this is not for accuracy's sake, but this is just for pure subjective comedic sake. And I'll explain to you what I mean by that in a second. I've grabbed some lyrics from those songs, and you might be familiar with them. And so, you know, a couplet is like a rhyming series of like 2 lines, right?
Okay.
And so I'm going to read you 3 lines, and you have to then provide me with the 4th line of this song. And again, not for accuracy's sake. If you actually know the song, I don't want the actual lyrics. I want you to provide me with the funniest end.
We're doing a little bit of a punch-up job here.
Yes.
Let's amplify these.
Exactly.
Nice.
I want you to
gotcha.
I want you to take these top 40 songs to the top 30, or at least top 39. All
Okay.
right. So we'll start out with a song called I Don't Care by Justin Bieber and Ed Sheeran.
Great.
Okay. And you'll have
Dream combo right there, huh?
you'll have to take your phones out.
Folks.
You'll have to take take a utensil to write something down.
Oh,
we write 'em.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll do it on my phone.
I want to hear everybody's take, and I'm going to give a point to whoever I find has the best response.
Great.
So funniest, most clever, involves most penis jokes, whatever strikes your fancy at that moment. So the song, the lyrics I chose says, I'm at a party I don't want to be at, and I don't ever wear a suit and tie. Wondering if I could sneak out the back, and then you fill out the other line. So I'll read it again. I'm at a party I don't want to be at, and I don't ever wear a suit and tie. Wondering if I could sneak out the back.
I've already got it. Boom. Boom.
All right,
Yeah.
Chase is done.
You could put me on the spot. Fuck yeah.
I mean, you couldn't even come up with a noun.
What's a noun?
Exactly. But I mean, you are a music guy, so this must just come second nature to you.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Sure.
Do you think you have a winning response?
No.
You know, it's just something quick. I mean, you were the first.
I'm curious because I had one that I fired right out of the hip.
One just kind of came to me, and
Yeah,
it's
well-
from something kind of. So
Okay, so remember, the scoring is subjective.
Yeah.
So if you can play up to my
Do
sensibilities,
you get points for rhyming?
I mean, it should rhyme.
yeah, I better rhyme.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Maybe we wrote the same thing.
yeah.
We'll
Okay,
see.
so I'm at a party I don't want to be at, and I don't ever wear a suit and tie. Wondering if I could sneak out the back, Kevin.
And get a coding degree from DeVry. Because coders never wear a suit and tie.
Okay, all right. You know, what? I like having to explain your answer to that.
Wow, that's
another level.
that's a lot more depth than mine.
Okay,
Can I predict it first?
Yeah, you can predict
Okay.
it.
My prediction for Chase's is so I can get super high.
Actually, no, that's not it.
dang.
okay. I don't ever wear a suit and tie. Wondering if I could sneak out the back, Chase.
And stick a needle in my eye.
Okay, so yours doesn't have the airtight logic that
No, definitely
Kevin's
not.
did, but still pretty good.
kinda makes sense,
Still pretty good.
Okay,
All right.
that's good. That's good.
I don't ever wear a suit and tie. Wonder if I can sneak out the back.
Now that I've established an alibi.
Okay, this one's going to Kevin.
That's definitely the line from Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber. Get a coding degree from different.
Okay, that's definitely at least a top 37.
Oh, easily.
All right, the next one is called "Call You Mine" by the Chainsmokers. The line says, You said, hey, what you doing for the rest of your life? And I said, I don't even know what I'm doing tonight. Went from one conversation to your lips on mine, and you said, blank.
Oh, that's a long one. All right.
So I'll go, it's a little long.
Yeah,
I'll go
do it again. Do it again.
You said, hey, what you doing for the rest of your life? And I said, I don't even know what I'm doing tonight. Went from one conversation to your lips on mine, and you said, blank. So you're rhyming here with, I don't even know what I'm doing tonight.
This is hard.
Okay, I'll read it one more time. You said, hey, what you doing for the rest of your life? And I said, I don't even know what I'm doing tonight. Went from one conversation to your lips on mine, and you said, blank.
Got it.
Okay. Chase, not so fast this time. He wants to think a little bit harder if he wants the
I was
points.
going to win the last one. I thought I had it made in the shade, but Kevin wins.
Kevin up the game.
He does. Should have gone back to school.
Should have gone. Damn it. What's the other big online? Is DeVry online?
University of Phoenix.
University of Phoenix. Yeah.
Become a Phoenix, I think. Well, or no, they had a really cheesy tagline.
What do you rise from the ashes?
Oh, I'm sure.
What do you think you're doing? Like if you're a hiring manager and okay, preemptive apology to anybody who has attended University of Phoenix, but what do you think if you're a hiring manager and you look at your potential candidate and they attended the University of Phoenix?
I test them to see if they really can rise from the ashes of their burned resume
You bring them in just to torment them.
and just torch it in front of them. Like, what you got?
All right, everybody done?
Skeptic.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not proud of this one.
Nah, not me either.
All right, so we'll start with Chase this time.
This is hard. Oh, great.
I don't even know what I'm doing tonight. Went from one conversation to your lips on mine, and you said,
I hope you don't have an STD because neither do I.
okay, this is actually
a little wordy. It's like,
No, I was like, I can't fucking rhyme this one.
so it's not really a safe sex anthem necessarily, but it's it's kind of like, I hope you don't have an STD because we're fucking without a condom.
Yeah.
Okay.
It implies that
just
like
wishful thinking.
it implies that like they didn't actually talk about it.
this is more of a thought
You're just
process.
thinking about it.
Okay.
Okay. I like that. All right. I don't even know what I'm doing tonight. Went from one conversation to your lips on mine, and you said,
Your breath smells like shite.
Okay.
all right.
Oh my god. Oh, the chain smoker is so beautiful.
Went from one conversation to your lips on mine, and you said,
Damn, your asshole is super tight.
okay.
That does seem like the natural progression.
How could you not be proud of that one, Kevin?
Yeah, that's strong, but not stronger than Chase's. Chase has,
Yes, dude.
yeah, I mean, this kind of safe sex anthem, but not really. Not really at all, actually,
I love the implied not talking to
I
them.
hope you don't.
because neither do I.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the first step is acknowledging STDs exist, and then
Yeah.
after that, you can progress to like
At
preventing
least
them.
they're thinking about it.
At least they accept that they're
At
real.
least they're thinking about it.
All right, next up, this is from the country top 40. This is called "Beer Never Broke My Heart" by Luke Combs. Can you believe this is from the country top 40? All right, the lyrics go: long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Like diamond rings in football teams have torn this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just dawned on me that bars and this guitar. Blank. Okay. Long neck,
Long one.
ice cold beer never broke my heart. Like diamond rings and football teams have torn this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just dawned on me that bars and this guitar. So I think I don't remember the exact lyric that follows it, but I think he's talking about he's hanging out in bars and he's got his guitar with him.
Yeah. And what do bars and guitars have to say?
Right,
about-
because the title is "Beer Never Broke His Heart." So, ice cold beer never broke his heart, but these other things.
I can totally relate to this one, Luke.
All right, let's start with Phil this time. Like diamond rings and football teams have torn this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just dawned on me that bars and this guitar
is the only way I'll ever cream.
Wait, is that what we're supposed to?
That's like an internal rhyme.
It's a dream and cream.
So, okay. All right. extra style points for the bizarre rhyming pattern.
You didn't specify.
It's an internal rhyme. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a neon dream, it just dawned on me that bars and this guitar
have kicked me out as I turned about after crashing into them with my car.
Okay. All right. That's like a limerick, basically. All right.
Yeah.
Like a neon dream, it just dawned on me that bars and this guitar.
Never judged my shitty music. Can't believe I've made it this far.
Oh, that's
that.
a winner.
Got him.
That's a winner. All right. Next one. We got 2 more.
Oh, shit, dog.
This is from the hip hop top 40. It's called My Type by Saweetie. Goes,
It's so weedy.
if people didn't already think this was the whitest podcast, it goes,
Have you listened to the new Sweetie?
I love so weedy.
that's new Saweetie.
She sure is swell.
This song slaps. New wrist, new whip, ride around dipped. I can see why all these basic hoes pissed. Bust down wrist, not a bust down bitch. Blank.
So there is no rhyming scheme here. You could just throw bitch in.
You say that again?
No, the whole thing rhymes.
I just like it when you do it. You say that one more
Yeah.
time.
New wrist, new whip, ride around dipped.
Yes.
I can see why all these basic hoes pissed. Bust down wrist, not a bust down bitch. Blank.
I love this game.
Good. Well, I mean, like I said, it's a fan favorite. So you're not alone. I mean, this one, I'm going to arbitrarily call this one 2 points
Okay, great.
because the whole point scheme is subjective. And so, why not? 2 points. Actually, this is going to be 2.5 points.
Why not?
Let's just give a little bonus incentive there. It's like time and a half. This is points and a half, 2.5, 2 points and a half. I see Chase is laboring over the lyrics.
I'm
now.
not proud of this one, but I'll stop because now everybody else is done.
See,
I feel like
when this game first started, Chase had this very lackadaisical approach to the whole thing. Now it's very methodical.
now I'm trying to think of how I can outdo myself from the previous round.
Right, because you've set a high bar for yourself
And
now.
you guys are gonna listen to this one, and
What happened to the Chase from last round?
yeah, you're not gonna. It's not gonna be the same cleverness. That's for sure.
All right, we'll go to Kevin first. New wrist, new whip, ride around dipped. I can see why all these basic hoes pissed. Bust down wrist, not a bust down bitch.
Is that 2 cats? Not the motherfucking Matrix glitch.
Whoa!
Okay, all right. Fire.
Fire!
That's fire, dude.
Fucking gas, bro.
Bust down wrist, not a bust down bitch.
I eat some chips and take a shit. I'm glad Andrew liked that one. Really great stuff.
It's just pee pee poo poo humor.
Yeah, see? I feel like I had to match the tone of the rest of the song. This one's a lot different.
Hey,
than the
what
other
you
one.
doing tonight? I don't know. Might eat some chips and then go take a shit.
Not a bust down bitch.
That's pretty good.
All right. Bust down wrist, not a bust down bitch.
By the way, that's a poor choice of words to address a female, and I won't participate. I avoided the rhyming scheme completely. 2019 PC is where I went.
my God.
Okay. For breaking out of the, heteronormative gender stereotype
Yeah.
world we live in and standing up for something, Phil, you get those 2.5 points.
Oh, I'll take them right to the bank.
It's
Thank
really
you.
fresh and unexpected for sure.
So here's the final round, and here's the crazy thing. This is actually worth 10 points.
Oh, damn.
So it's literally anybody's game.
Dude, I love games that really just tell you, fuck you for playing, because it's all about the last round.
Yeah, but you didn't know about it till now. So what are you going to do about
I love
it?
games where you don't even have to keep track of the score because it doesn't.
Gotcha.
Well, our scorekeeper also didn't show up tonight. So
Fair
what do you
enough.
want me to do? This is from a track called Bad Guy by Billie Eilish.
Ooh, I've been listening to this.
All right. It goes,
Billy Eyelash.
white shirt now red, my bloody nose. Sleeping, you're on your tippy toes. Creeping around like no one knows. Blank. White shirt now red, my bloody nose. Sleeping, you're on your tippy toes. Creeping around like no one knows. Blank. Remember, this is worth 10 points.
Fuck. All I don't know. I think the best ones come quickly and naturally. So this one's
Yeah, I'm not proud of this one.
Did this one come quickly and naturally, Chase?
yeah, it actually did.
Okay.
Not confident with my response.
Kevin, how are you feeling about it?
I'm not feeling great. It's trying to be a callback, but it's not very funny.
I just want it for the record. I didn't say that it was good.
All right. Well, as this is worth 10 points and it's the closer of the episode, I have a special guest to give the points for this round. Please welcome Billie Eilish. Just kidding.
Wow, that would have been nuts.
It's just me. Sorry.
You never know who's walking into the Base Room studio these days.
Yeah. You never know. There's
Yeah,
celebrities.
I did look to the door.
There's celebrities around here all the time.
I was looking to see if anybody was going to look. Phil looked.
She's the points guy. Duh.
All right. Kevin's disqualified. All right. We'll start with, because Chase feels so confident, he's going to go last. So
Okay. Well, all right, great.
we'll start with Phil.
Okay.
White shirt now red, my bloody nose. Sleeping, you're on your tippy toes. Creeping around like no one knows.
It's not the right time for you to expose your dick.
Okay.
Your dick.
So that was the implication. But it
There's
didn't
subtext.
rhyme.
Oh, yeah, that's like background vocals.
Creeping
Your
around,
dick.
bloody nose. You know.
Don't expose.
Totally.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Kevin. Creeping around like no one knows.
Put on Law and Order because CSI blows.
Oh,
Okay. All right, so this is a CSI diss track.
yeah, everyone was like, where does that come from? Wow.
All right, and Chase, creeping around like no one knows.
Your mom's a hoe. Yes, she's a hoe.
That was your crown jewel. Yep. Your mom's a hoe. And by the way,
Yes.
she is a hoe.
She's a hoe.
Got it.
Can we rewind to a minute and a half ago? Chase, the best ones just come intuitively.
Quickly and naturally, dude.
Like, quickly.
The first thing I thought of was your mom's a hoe.
I like this strategy because Chase is just playing up the confidence.
Yeah, dude.
And he's strutting in here like he owns the place. Wow, 3 really great choices. I have to go with Kevin.
Wow.
The CSI diss
callback.
track.
Yeah, I
CSI
like it.
diss track. Yeah, for sure. That someone needed to write that.
And I think that takes a score. I think when we add those 10 points. Oh, yes, Kevin. You are the winner of the top 40s Crazy Couplets game.
Shit, yeah.
So wear that badge of honor with pride. Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode. If you like this show, you got to follow us on social media, pwspacecast@gmail.com. You can send us all your funny, fantastical fan mail, your pod mail. We'll read it right here on the show. Podworms Spacecast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow all of our great social media feeds. And the most important thing here is if you like this show, you got to share it with somebody you love, somebody you hate, somebody who does construction. You got to share it with them because they're going to like it. And what's better than sharing something you love with the ones you love or don't
share
even
with.
know or you met today on a construction site.
Yeah.
And as always, space fans, until next time,
Keep squirming.
Podworms